All right. Pleased to welcome in to the show this afternoon, Corporal Tony Rodriguez and Deputy Eureka Grubbs. How are y'all doing this afternoon?
We're
Magnificent.
Great.
Thank
Yeah,
you.
so
Good.
excited
Thank you
to
for
be here.
inviting us.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, this is an important event you guys have coming up. It is, you guys are having a corrections recruitment event. Am I correct about that?
That's
Yes, sir.
correct. That's
Okay.
correct.
So first off, tell me how y'all got involved with the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office.
Yeah. Ladies first.
Thank you, Tony. I appreciate it. I actually came from another agency, and so when I came to St. Johns County, I was impressed with the professionalism that was all around the agency. The camaraderie was perfect. When I walked into the jail, I was surprised that it was quiet. Who goes
Really?
into a jail
Right.
that's quiet? And so it was an environment that I really hadn't seen before when it came to being in that type of environment. Because when you think of jail, you think of stress, you think of chaos.
Yeah.
Now there, of course, are days when there is chaos, but it was pleasant, and that was something that when it all rolled down to why would I work for a place like this, it was because of the environment, the people that were around. They were happy to be there.
She came
That's
from the
huge.
prison system,
Really? Okay.
DOC.
I
So
did.
Wow.
she's
Wow.
holding
Yeah.
back on that one.
I am.
She's trying to be modest.
Mind you, DOC was really good to me, but at the same time, there were a lot of situations that I didn't find fair. And then coming to St. Johns County, up to the sheriff is amazing. You don't expect to see supervisors inside the jail.
Right.
And when I say he's there, he's attentive. He listens to our needs, and he doesn't just listen. He addresses issues and makes sure that they're fixed. He
So
wants
that's
us
not
all to
the
be
that's
happy.
not the norm, huh?
No.
That's pretty amazing
It
to hear.
isn't.
And
It
to have a
isn't.
team environment like that, what's the secret sauce? Like, what's the secret in that recipe? Is it training? Like, what makes an environment calm under chaos?
That's a great question. Of course, I think it is training, but at the same time, I think it's a person's mindset where they are mentally. Because thinking of mental, you have to have a strong mental sensibility in order to be in an environment like that, because you're faced with different types of obstacles on a daily basis.
Sure.
Excuse me. And so when you think of your mental state, it has to be on point. And St. Johns County has taught me not only to be a strong deputy while I'm there, but also to know that I have teammates that are right there by my side with the same type of mentality that wants to work as hard and strive to be a great, deputy.
I love
That's
that.
impressive. That really is.
Yeah.
Corporal Rodriguez, what about yourself?
Well, I'll be honest with you. I started out in Clay and was there 9 years, but I've always lived in St. John's. And one
Okay.
thing I don't want to forget is something that she mentioned. That's key. But for me, listen, Clay is like that first girlfriend that you fell in love with, and they will always be that person. But
Oh,
when I came over here, I thought I was going to be punked. I thought there was cameras all over the place.
Right.
Because the culture and the environment, I don't know if you've ever heard the sheriff say that, but I say that when I go out to academies, the culture and the environment is totally different at St. Johns County. And I don't try to sell it.
Mm-hmm.
I just tell people, we'll give you a tour, come see it for yourself.
Right.
Because nobody wants to, I don't want to listen to a bragger,
Right. Yeah.
and I'm not going to be that person.
Right.
And when you come back to and so I've been here going on 7 years, but
Okay.
to say something that's really important about what she said, and we both have nothing to gain or lose from this. We just passionate about working at St. Johns County. We're passionate about the citizens here.
Right.
We're passionate about y'all.
Thank you.
And we try to make a different culture and environment here. We can't worry about what goes on outside of St. John's or in the state of Florida or in the nation or in the world, but we have something special and different in St. Johns County. And that, I don't mean it to sound like that's the typical stuff that anybody's going to say.
No,
No,
it's
it is
very
different.
special.
And you know what I'm talking
Yeah.
about.
yeah.
But just so people know out there, the number one thing that this agency looks for, and people look at me like I got something on my forehead, the number one thing we look for and people say honor, commitment, integrity, this, that. And I tell them, before you hit the submit button, you should automatically have those things. I don't care what agency you're applying for.
True. Yeah.
Sure.
That's
You
right.
better have those things. But the number one thing we look for is a positive attitude. That is the number one thing we look for, because we can teach you everything else pretty much. But you and I both know, we're old enough to know that it's hard to teach someone to have a good attitude.
It's grown.
And that
Yeah.
goes back to what she was saying, having the shift mates and having the beat partners and so on and so forth, and the support staff and the brass walking around,
Yes.
asking you how your day and knowing your name.
Yeah,
Right.
yeah, yeah.
So
Exactly.
It's so important.
it's very important.
You're not just a number. Yeah.
Yeah,
sir.
it makes a difference because you've got to be there every single day.
Yes.
That's the job. These are the people you're around more than you're around anybody else.
That's right.
Right? So
close.
that culture is so important.
Mm-hmm.
So what are you searching for? You mentioned those are the keys you need to have, but who should be coming to apply? Can just regular everyday folks who have never worked in police departments before
So
come and apply?
that's a great question and barge in here because we freestyle. Okay, except we don't rap.
Not at all.
There's three people we're well, I don't know, the show's early. We might.
That's right. Hey, Rick, drop the beat. Yeah.
I saw Snoop and Dr. Dre on TV last night, so doing that whole Olympic thing, you never know.
Love it.
But anyways, sorry, I got off track. But there are three individuals we're looking for in this event. And again, the event's August 30th.
Okay.
From 9 to 4. You have to register. The link will be provided, and a phone number if you can't use the link. Phone number will be provided, but you have to register. And the reason for it is we got to do a real quick minor background check on you.
Sure.
And then you'll get a welcome email. There'll be parking provided, so you don't have to drive around. It'll be actually at the jail.
Yes.
It'll be posted. You'll know where to go based on the email. But the three individuals or the three entities we're looking for, people that are current, meaning they're certified in the state of Florida. Okay. I don't care if they're DOC, if they work in a jail, it doesn't matter. As long as they're state certified in the state of Florida, we'd love to see you. We'd love to just show you around.
Okay.
We'd love to just tell you about our agency. We want you to see it with your own eyes, smell it, not just hear it from us over the radio.
That's right.
The other we're looking for is EOT. That's called equivalency of training. Those are individuals that are in different states. They're working as corrections, but they want to move to Florida. Okay? Now I don't care where they move. Come over here, we'll tell you what you need to do. Okay, I don't care if they go down to Key West. We'll be more than happy to provide you with the information you need in order to say, hey, I'm going to uproot my family from Kansas because I want to move to Florida. All right. So there's steps. They're not really difficult. The other is new people. One of the biggest things that we hear is, hey, I was trying to find out how to be a law enforcement deputy or corrections deputy, but when the first question they ask is, are you certified? And then when I say, no, I'm just trying to get information, they basically tell me, have a good day. So our goal is to say, hey, come on in. We know you're not certified. We don't care. We're going to give you the information you need so you can go get certified, okay, whether you work for the county next to us or you work at our county, all right? So all those things are critical because people just want to, they need to know, but it's hard to get that information. That's all we just trying to provide information. And if we get some people out of it, great. You know, but for us is more, the sheriff's always been provide the knowledge.
Right.
That's key.
What does that certification look like? Is it arduous? Is it hard? Is it like a big test?
The state board of yes. Well, you have to go through an academy first.
Oh, okay.
So it's not just something that you can just
Like
go
driver's
to
license, you can just show up and take
No.
a test. Okay.
No, you do have to go through an academy. And what Tony was saying, we will give you the information on what steps you need to take.
Nice.
There's several different academies that you can get signed up with, and we'll have that information.
That's if
here
you're
as
not
well.
state certified already
Right.
in the state of Florida.
Like how long are those academies?
What is it, 4 months?
Something like that. So
3 or 4
a
months,
multitude
yeah.
of months.
If you're going full time. And one thing I did fail to mention is St. John's River State College, their law enforcement academy, criminal justice is first class.
Absolutely,
First class.
yes.
And they will be there on the 30th to address if you're trying to get information on how to be an EOT from out of state to come here. And if you're new, if you just want to, hey, you woke up one morning and you're 18 years old and you're like, I won't go into law enforcement, but I think I want to look into the correction side. They'll be there to provide that information.
I like that.
So we've had a tremendous working relationship with them. So they'll be there. And
because that's the first thing. If I heard I had to take a test, boom, I shut down right away. Because I'm like, oh, I don't know, I can't do it. But like, you guys are there, and I like that you're taking the step of like, this is how to get success.
Right.
And if you want to stick to it and you want to be consistent, you can definitely have this opportunity. I love that.
And I mean,
journey.
let's be honest, 4 months of an academy is a lot better than throwing away 2 years on an art degree
years,
where you're
yeah.
not going to make your money back. And we all know that Sheriff Hardwick has been very, very adamant about taking care of his staff, making
Yes.
sure you have a wage that you can live on here in
100%.
St. Johns County. I mean, that's a huge focus of his.
Yes.
He wants his employees to be happy and paid well.
And we
So I think
are.
that's important. That's
and that,
great.
That transfer, the way I look at it is, I use this expression, I could pay you $100,000 a year, but if the culture and the environment sucks,
Yeah.
you're
It's
not going to
worth
stay
it.
around.
It's not worth it.
No.
So how does that? What's the ripple effect on that?
Right.
Yeah.
The citizens, those that come here, the 7 million that come visit St. Johns County because of the beaches and St. Augustine. There's a situation, we don't have the staff. Let's say we do, but I'm saying let's say that's the ripple effect. So something happens in this radio station, you want us coming in here on one wheel, right?
Right.
Or God forbid something happened and we need fire and rescue here. So there is a major ripple effect. So the relationship that he has with the commissioners, the relationship that he has with the citizens, what you see is not a show.
Yeah,
And I'm not going to say that it is, because I have nothing to prove or anything, because he is a good man. So we're so blessed. We're blessed.
So not just salary though, but what's a more currency is like work-life balance. Like,
Right.
how do you guys look at that?
As far as work-life balance, of course, knowing the responsibilities of your duties, whether you're working in the jail, and that's what it's about, or if you're a Leo out on the street. So for me, I know my schedule. My family knows my schedule, which is important. It is 12 hours shifts that we do have to work. Nonetheless, I know that I have to be present. My children know that I'm going to be there. And it's a matter of, since I know that I also have a great leadership, teamwork at the jail, coming home, my family, they see me positive. I'm not all the time though. Okay.
I'm sure.
Everybody has bad days. We all do.
right?
Yeah.
I had to think about that. There are certain days, especially
I was gonna
with
call
the
you out.
12. Yeah, no fluff here. No fluff. There are certain days where it is exhausting. You're constantly on your feet. You have to be physically fit. Not perfectly, but able to respond to emergency situations, because they can occur at any moment. So with all of that it entails, your mindset mentally has to be on point. And when I do get home, usually my family is like, Mom, do you need some time? I'll be like, yeah, let me go take a shower and just clear my
Decompress,
mind.
yeah.
Right,
Exactly. For a moment, just give me a few moments to get everything together, because you don't want to go home and be negative towards your family.
Right.
They know when you're down, they know when you're stressed. And there are days where it's going to be that way. So your family understanding what you have to go through, being in an environment such as this, knowing that they understand and they care about your well-being is...
I love it. It all
Yeah.
falls into place.
It does.
It's huge.
It does.
Yeah. And I also appreciate that the Sheriff Hardwick really, not only does he care about you guys, of course, but he treats the individuals in the jail as humans and
does.
not animals that are
He
horrible
does.
people and have no path back.
Right.
I think recidivism is down under Sheriff Hardwick
It
because
is.
he puts a real emphasis on rehabilitating people and saying,
Exactly.
look, we know you're not a bad person.
Right.
Here's what you can do to do better in life.
Right.
And I mean, correct me if I'm wrong. You guys have both worked in different departments. That's not the norm.
It's not. Anybody could... I'm sorry.
No, go ahead. Go ahead.
People make mistakes.
Yeah.
Anybody can end up in a situation to where you are in jail, And while you're there, you don't want it to be a traumatizing situation. Key point while you're knowing how to communicate with individuals. I have come across people that have come in there intoxicated, under the influence of whether it's drugs, alcohol. Mind you, they're not in their right state of mind. And so I know how to transform myself into an individual that can listen to them. And then I expect them to listen to me as well. But sometimes, they don't,
obviously,
because of the situation. But usually when they come to, it's, Ms. Grubbs, thank you. Thank you for being patient with me. I remember.
You had empathy, which is so important. I mean, you're listening to the stories. You're not judging people.
No.
You're here to help people. And I love that. And that's something that 904 now has trained me as a human, is that how many resources come from you guys. And it's incredible because you're actually getting people to a better situation in their lives. How rewarding is that to you?
I mean, it's one thing to talk about it. You know, we see that every day out there in the world. You know, people talk about, hey, we're going to do this, but it's another to actually do it.
Yeah.
And I was taught when I first came. Now I started late, and I'm 53, so I've been doing this actually this month. It'll be 15 years.
53. Go ahead.
Duct tape and oil of Olay works every time. Duct tape, oil of Olay, y'all. We're gonna do a commercial later on that.
I like it.
No, but thank you, I appreciate it. But the biggest thing that I learned a long time ago when I first came in here is I was told whenever you deal with anyone, remember that's somebody's child. I don't care if they're 80 years old or they're 5 years old, that's someone's kid. So put yourself in that situation. I get goosebumps because, you know, there are times when you're dealing with people and they want to, we call it clown up. And, but you have to remember. And the other thing too, is when you can take someone's life or freedom away, that's a big responsibility. And, you know, I know there's a lot of my brothers and sisters in there, whether in the jail or out on the road, that really do take that seriously. And the ones that the small percentages that make it on the national news, I won't say how we really feel about it because this is a friendly atmosphere. But I can tell you, when I see stuff like that, it really ticks us off. So because, like I tell these kids in the academy, you're wearing a uniform, all right. Your neighbor automatically has already associated you as the police. So when you're peeling off your neighborhood, they don't realize that you're in the academy. They say, look at Nicky. Nick's a cop. He thinks he can just do whatever he wants. So I let them know, you come into this industry, you're going to actually be judged twice, 3 times as hard. And guess what? You should. You should.
Standards.
And if you don't like it, don't come into the job. We realize that.
Of course.
And so we're doing what we need to do to take care of people. And I hate to say it that way, but it's the truth. There's no other way you can do it. And so anyways.
It's rewarding. Absolutely.
So what do y'all expect from this event? What are the goals that you're hoping to get out of holding this recruitment event? And give me the dates and all that stuff again, please.
Again, the event is being held on August 30th between the hours of 9 a.m., 4 p.m. Feel free to come by during those hours. We set it for that particular time frame to target those that have different schedules that may not be able to come in the morning or may not be able to come in the afternoon. You can come, during
upon
those
registration.
hours.
Upon registration.
You have to register.
Once you're registered, you get the approval email. Then you can come anytime between there. Obviously, don't show up at 4.
Right.
Well, I was gonna ask you,
I'm just saying.
How long should they map out on their schedule?
How long should they plan to be there?
A good 15, 20 minutes, maybe 30.
That's not bad.
Just depending on where you are. Like, of course, if this is something that you're doing new, 18, 19 years old, you don't know what you really want, but you want to just visit and see what it's like, then you want to give it more time. Come as soon as possible.
Cool.
If you're already state certified, and you just have never known what it was like being at St. Johns County, because that was how it was for me. I didn't know what St. Johns County had to offer until I actually walked into the door. I walked in, like Tony said, I thought I was being pranked. I'm like, this is unreal. This is
country club, but not,
right.
You know what I mean?
And then, I have met friends there, you know, and people don't think that you meet friends in jail, but I have actual friends there now, mind you. So if you are experienced within the correctional officer world and you're already certified and you want a tour, then you probably don't need anything more than like 30 minutes. Now, since we will have St. John's River College there representing and advising of the EOT program, give it more time.
Okay.
You know, so it's basically based upon whatever that person wants and needs at the time. But we would say a good hour.
It's up to you.
Okay.
You come in there, you get what you need in 15 minutes, fine.
Yeah.
It just,
But if you want to ask questions,
but if you want to
and hang
ask
out
questions, hopefully, depending on, you know, where they are, where we are, there might be opportunities to do a little quick tour. Obviously, that's another reason why you have to be, you have to register. But, you know, the facility is, the bottom line is you have to see it with your own eyes. We could sell it all day.
Yes.
And they can say on the radio they're drinking the Kool-Aid. There's no Kool-Aid, man.
No,
This is you have to see it with your own eyes to understand the culture, the environment. Are we a perfect agency? Absolutely not. But daggone it, we're close.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I got to be honest. And everyone that knows us, that knows me on the street will tell you I don't pull punches.
Yeah.
I'm just as straight as they come. So, because there's a reason for it, you know. We all have someone we answer to.
It's truth.
And I'm not gonna sit here and preach the Bible, but I'm just saying at the end of the day, you have to see it with your own eyes.
Now, if I've never been to a recruiting event, what do I wear? Am I showing up with a collared shirt? I'm serious.
know-
People are
you
like,
know-
do I show up in t-shirt?
There's
Like,
a-
you know,
yeah.
You know,
that's fair.
listen. You know, they say "come as you are." Look. Every day, I hate the expression. You make one good impression or your
right, your first impression is your
your
Yeah,
first
right.
impression, and you know, I get it. I didn't know. You know, it wasn't until I was in the Marine Corps that I learned that you don't wear a t-shirt and jeans to go to an interview, because
Right,
that's what I
right.
wore the first time.
Sure. Yeah.
So we're not going to discriminate, look at somebody down because they're wearing that. You might come straight from work,
Right.
you know,
Sure.
and you're delivered, you know, you just delivered UPS.
Right.
So, but my philosophy is, we're giving you a freebie. Come in. I don't care if you're in shorts and t-shirt.
Nice.
Okay. Obviously, if you make the decision, hey, this is the life I want to pursue. I want to go all in. When you have your interviews, you dress for success.
Nice.
And I don't
Okay.
care what, you know, that's a suit, tie. I don't care. Go buy one at Goodwill. It
Right,
doesn't
God
matter.
bless, Yeah.
But just come. Just register first, and then just come. Come as you are.
I got to tell you a real quick story about a guy that I think you both probably know, Mel Lewis.
Oh, yeah,
That was,
Mel. Mel's the man.
So I knew Mel as he was just getting into the St. Johns County Sheriff's
Okay.
Office.
Yeah.
And he was so excited. He was pumped. But he started in corrections, I believe. And then kind of worked his way up from there. So
Yes.
even if you are considering a higher position at the Sheriff's Office, if that's your goal, starting at corrections and working your way up.
Yes.
I mean, I've seen him do it over the last 10 years, get promotion after promotion after promotion, because he's a great guy. He does great work.
Yep.
He loves what he does.
Yep.
And you can start in corrections and achieve your goals anywhere you want to go in
Absolutely.
the Sheriff's
Right.
Office,
That's
correct?
Absolutely. You could Mel's a perfect example. Now, I'm biased. I've never worked in corrections, but I can tell you, anyone that I've worked alongside with that came from corrections, like, those are the people you want next to you. Nothing against my brothers. There's some great cops out there.
Oh, yeah.
Sure.
But they're a little bit in a different category because they have to go hands on.
Yeah.
And so they're a unique breed. And then when they go out on the road, they really do excel. So
That's awesome.
You
You know.
spend more time with the inmates
Mhm.
and on the correction
Read them.
side, reading them, communicating with them. When it comes to rehabilitation, you know what their needs are. You know, at the same time, we've been seeing a lot of inmates come in with mental health issues, you know, and people don't really talk about that. You see an individual on the street and you think, okay, my gosh, I need to get away from this person. This person is crazy. No, you never know what a situation could be. It could be autism,
Mm-hmm.
you know, knowing those signs and being able to communicate with individuals with issues like that is actually, it's one of my pleasures. I love it. Communicating with others, finding a way to help them is something that I love. And
It's that trust factor, that common ground. I love it. Yeah.
It is. And so St. John's offers that, you know. Again, not selling it. I just, when there's a passion, I mean, it's just there. I can't help it.
Yeah.
But say
it's
how
easy
much
to talk
I love
about
it.
your love for it. Yeah, absolutely. Well, Deputy Grubbs, Corporal Rodriguez, thank you all so much for coming in.
Great
we appreciate
chat.
your time. We appreciate
y'all.
all that
Thank
you do with
you.
the St. Johns County Sheriff's Office.
Thank you.
I'll put links
And,
and comments for everybody, so don't worry about a thing. Everything will be
Great.
nice. and smooth.
Outstanding.
Thank
Thank
you guys.
you.
Amazing.
Very cool, man.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Very cool, right?
It's a great culture in there in corrections. And Sheriff Hardwick talks about the corrections department almost every single time he comes on our show.
Yeah.
But
I mean, I take it for face value when you talk to Sheriff Hardwick when he comes on the show, and that's great. But then to see like the actual police officers like rally together, I think that's even more inspiring. It just
and
takes
talk
it up
about
a
how
notch.
great that culture is.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's great, man.